And good afternoon. Welcome to this Monday to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thank you for being with us. Day number 54. We start week number 12. Wow. I love it. And Growing with the Day, thank you very, very much. We picked up 70 and 18 Facebook likes since Friday, and we appreciate that very, very much. And, again, our show dedicated to the one up over my shoulder that hung up on the cross for us, all of us. And so we say thank you for that. And we unashamedly dedicate the show to him. And the verse today is John 8:12 says, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. John 8:12, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. And there it is, the cross up there that we unashamedly pay tribute to as we pray for every show, which we did this afternoon. Horace did the honors. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Doing good.
Good. Did you have a good weekend?
Fair to middling.
Yeah. Mama was in. Is that good?
Mama was in.
That's always good, isn't it? Mama's in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And y'all got to hang, and Mama come to see the son, and that's a good thing. So he's lucky. For those of us that don't have our folks are gone, so he is he's good. All's good.
And Daddy, too.
And Daddy, too. Papa Bear came along, too, so which is kind of how it works. How long they been hitched?
A lot longer than me.
You've been 31?
Oh, yeah. They're probably
50?
Oh, more than that. I would say they're close to 60.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Maybe over 60.
That is awesome. Cool stuff. Anyway, good afternoon to you. Thanks for being with us. We have lots to cover and lots to talk to and talk about. We've got coming up later on the show, coming up here in a little while, the the quiz show with the Gator man. Mm-hmm. Going to go to 9?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
It's not going to move?
No.
All right. We'll see. Coming up here in just a few minutes, we'll check in with the Gator man. Also later on the show, Jim Cline Farmers Insurance, one of our great sponsors. Carey Daniels, Athletic Director, Dobyns, Bennett, giving you a DB Spring Sports update. Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park. Richard Pendleton from the Gold Wing Riders, talking about that St. Jude's Golf Tournament coming up next week that you can still be a part of. And also Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse. So we got lots to talk about, lots going on. So, well, let's get started. Let's see. NFL, RG3, the Redskins going to pick up his contract, his fifth-year option. And you say to that?
He's going to be hurt. He's going to sit on the bench. They're going to pay him to do nothing.
Now, did they go out and get somebody in the offseason?
I don't know.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They got was it Josh McCown, Cade McCown, Josh? Let me double check. They got somebody they picked up a quarterback somewhere along the line. So
you just wonder what's going through some of these general managers' heads. You know, the guy hasn't given a complete season yet, I don't think.
No.
And why would you want to invest more money in somebody that's not going to give you a complete season?
Oh, here we go. This is good. You'll like this. You ready? Fifth-year option for the 2016 season, a move worth $16.155 million. Now, here's the catch to this. If Griffin is hurt during this season, the Redskins would be on the hook to pay the full $16 million. If Griffin does not perform well this coming season, the Redskins could release the quarterback without taking a salary cap hit. So a little bit of pressure on him, too. He's got to perform.
Well,
of course, it's all subjective. I mean, if he doesn't perform well, what's perform well? Is there things in motion to say you got to hit this goal, this goal, this goal, or do you kind of go, RG didn't do so good this year?
It don't make a difference. He's going to get hurt.
Last year he threw for 1,694 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions. Not exactly sparkling numbers. There you go.
Said.
Horse is on it today. Not exactly sparkling numbers. So
let's give him another $16 million.
There you go. To be not even mediocre. I mean, that's below average. He has more interceptions than he does touchdowns. Yeah. However, he has worked the deal in his favor, no question. Also, don't forget, coming up on Thursday is NFL Draft this week, and all the buzz about Jameis and what's the boy's name out of Oregon? Mariota, and all the folks. And so it's coming up on Thursday of this week. The NFL Draft finally going to be here. Now, the boxing match we talked about on Friday, big tickets, big money being plunked down for tickets, but if you live in Mexico,
it's free.
It's free. Tell me about that. That's crazy.
They just said that Mexicans. I don't know what they've done to work it out, but if you live in Mexico, you get to see the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight for free if you want to watch it. Meanwhile, here in the United States, you're going to pay $77,000 plus for a ringside seat, $4,500 just to get in the door, or $99.95 to watch it on pay-per-view.
But you go to Mexico, it's free.
If you go to Mexico, it's free.
Now, what's the logic behind that?
I guess it's Pacquiao. I guess he's, it's because he's a Mexican, and they want to, publicize that he's in this big title fight.
Yeah. So. Now, you just said something very politically incorrect. He ain't Mexican. Here we go. It's Monday with Horace.
Don't care. I've never been a politically correct person.
No, you haven't, and I'm not either. So he is Mexican, is what he is. But they would say he is Hispanic. Well, he may be, but he's from Mexico.
I don't care.
So he's Mexican.
He's from Mexico. He's Mexican.
There you go. Thank you very much. I'm from West Virginia. I'm not a WASP. If I'm from West Virginia, I'm what?
Well,
West Virginia.
You're from West Virginia.
There you go. Thank you. So anyway, Pacquiao and the boys are going to get it free.
But, you know, I wouldn't be – I won't go there.
You wouldn't be telling too many people?
That's right.
Ooh.
Let me dig one.
Yeah, there you go. You know, I could make a call or two. We could have some boys come on down out of the mountains. We could shore things up pretty quick.
That's all right. I got some on my side too.
It's a fight. It's a food fight. So anyway, our boys are going to go. You can go to Mexico and watch it for free, which I don't understand at all. But around here in the United States, pay-per-view, have they actually set the price in on that?
I
pay-per-view
on my. Yeah, I got Dish at house, and
right.
I just happened to go scroll through the pay-per-view channels, and there it was, the McMurray Pacquiao fight, and it said pre-order now, $99.95.
$100. Wow. And you know people are going to do it all day long.
Not me.
No, I'm not either. I'll wait and read about it the next day. All right, what else going on in sports? Let's see. NASCAR, we're going to hear from Kurt Busch coming up here in just a second. But here's a story, Michael Jordan's tennis shoes. How about this? Talking about crazy people. I guess I wouldn't do it. But there again, maybe you and I are in the wrong. Maybe we're the ones that are goofy and everybody else is okay. But Jordan's rookie shoes at an auction, his rookie tennis shoes for Michael Jordan, $71,533 for a pair of tennis shoes.
The only way I would pay that for those pair of shoes is if I actually had $71,000 laying around that had no other use but to go ahead and buy some sports memorabilia.
There you go.
Otherwise, not a chance.
But why? That's my question. I mean, what are you going to do with them?
I guess you're going to put them on the wall, put them in a shadow box or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
But I mean, what?
So you got a pair of tennis shoes.
That's my point. We come over for Christmas dinner and go, hey, guys, look up on the mantle. That's Michael Jordan's rookie shoes. Okay. You got me mashed potatoes and turkey? I mean, I'm just like, I guess it's status. I guess you want to impress somebody.
They need to be in a Hall of Fame or a museum somewhere, not on somebody's wall.
There you go. Or in somebody's shoebox, put up in the attic to keep it, which makes no sense. But anyway, it doesn't say who sold. Let's see. Owned by a former Los Angeles Laker ball boy, but are now owned by an anonymous buyer. So $71,533. It was auctioned off. The Michael Jordan a pair of his Air Nikes worn by the man himself during the 84-85 rookie season.
Yeah. More power to you, big guy.
There you go. Not moi. So anyway, they rained it out on Saturday night. They came back last night, or actually yesterday afternoon. Oh, yeah. Oh, I heard all about this at church. Guess what? I don't know what.
Stuart Haas, 1-2, big guy.
1 and 2, Busch and Harvey.
If it hadn't been for Dale Earnhardt Jr., Smoke would have been in the top 10, too.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Where did my boy, or your boy, not my boy, where'd your boy end up at?
He spun out late.
41st out of 43.
Yeah.
That's good. That's impressive. And then let's see. Where's Danica? She finished 25th. So, anyway, let's hear from Kurt Busch again in victory lane for the first time this season. And, man, he just dominated that race. And so, the question was posed, do you ever get tired of being in victory lane? Here's Kurt Busch, the winner of the race in Richmond.
Victory lane is victory lane. You know, I was standing there, the confetti's flying. They gave us the champagne bottles from Sprint, and we're showering each other down. I mean, it's victory lane. It doesn't change. It feels great. As I'm older, I can appreciate it more because of the time and effort that it takes to assemble a good group of guys. That's where I recognize what now I might have took for granted when I was racing with Jimmy Fenning and the Roush days and when we won the championship. It's a total team effort, and Gibson has a great group of guys that he's assembled over the years that are winners, and they're ready to win. And here we are in victory lane, so I can appreciate it more so now.
Kurt Busch winning, so I guess he's humble a little bit. A little humble pie, been through a lot, obviously. Wrongly accused. Now, I was talking to a guy yesterday at church about this. All right, he's wrongly, well, I guess he was wrongly accused because he was acquitted, I guess. Is that right?
Well, they refused. No, the judge ruled that he wasn't or the prosecutor said there wasn't enough there to go forward.
Okay.
So he's not being charged. There's no charges filed.
So everything's just it's gone. It's kind of wiped off the slate in essence.
Unless something else comes up that changes their mind. But
right.
as of right now, he's
apparently
clear.
not. Yeah. So my question is, if this guy is a lunatic like he was portrayed by this lady who he says was a trained assassin, I think she's a little squirrely, and he may be a little squirrely too. But
he made some poor choices.
Yeah.
Number one, he hooked up with this lunatic girl. But,
right. Right.
And maybe he did have a little anger issue because all these drivers seem to at some point in time, but not to that extent.
But my point is, I got him a new girl.
Oh, yeah.
So either she's crazy, the new girlfriend, either she's nuts, or this guy's not the villain he was painted to be. Because, all right, if I meet somebody and do a little background check, and how could you not? This guy's been all over the papers. So if a young Fraulein meets him, either she's, again, I don't know who this lady is, but either she wants to be in the spotlight to be on his arm because she will get instant notoriety, or she's looked past what he did or doesn't think he did what he did, but for whatever reason, he's already got him a new girlfriend. Now, if he was a lunatic, or if that's the right adjective, then probably most females would kind of, I would think, back off. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We're in a different time frame. But point being, he's already got another girl. I guess where I'm going with this, it looks like he's kind of, quote-unquote, got it together. I mean,
he's always had it together, I think. Like I said, he's probably has some anger issues. Just like, Tony Stewart's had anger issues on and off the track. Other drivers have had anger issues on and off the track. But to the extent where you're going to be charged criminally, no. I think this gal, it wasn't Kurt Busch who pegged her as an assassin. It was third parties that came out and said, no, this girl's out to get him for whatever reason. He probably said, I've had enough of you, I'm gone, and she took offense to it and went after him, and maybe made something up. I don't know, but nevertheless, she was probably more guilty than he was.
Yeah,
and it just snowballed on him, and it got him in a pickle. Now things have have come around, and now he's winning races again. He's got another some eye candy on his arm.
Yeah,
and things are progressing more toward being normal, I guess. But I'm sorry. I just think that the girl in this situation was a little bit more at fault than he was.
Yeah.
So.
In a pickle. I like it.
Like that?
That's Marable. That's Marable. That Marable talk here. Got him in a pickle. It's the Tom Dillard Sports Show. And so Kurt Busch, let's run down the points. They head down to the big one this weekend, Talladega. And the defending champ of that race from a year ago is Denny Hamlin. The points look like this. Kevin Harvick, here's an interesting point, the point system. Busch wins it, but yet he's not in the top 16. Now, he's punched his ticket for the race. I mean, for the chase, rather. Yep. Harvick, Logano, Truex, Jr., or Jimmy Johnson, Keselowski, the top five. And then you have, you have Casey Kane, Matt Kenseth, Jr., Jamie McMurray. Going to hear from him coming up here in a few minutes. He jumped, 3 spots. He's in the top 10 now at number 9. Like this guy. I heard his interviews yesterday, and I thought, this guy's pretty cool. I may start following him because he really seems to be a really nice guy. Jeff Gordon rounds out the top 10. Then comes Eric Almirola, Denny Hamlin, Paul Menard, Clint Boyer out of nowhere has jumped to 14th. So the last couple of races, he's starting to get it together. Ryan Newman 15th, and Danica, if the chase was established today, all 16 of these folks would be in. And so she's in at the 16th spot right now. In the chase, but not locked in. The ones that are in for sure, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Matt Kenseth, Denny Hamlin, and now Kurt Busch. Those guys are in, and the other ones are kind of on the outside. They're in the chase, but not locked in right now. So, anyway, that's what's going on in NASCAR. And, again, a dominating performance by Stewart Haas. And I guess, does anybody – why are these guys so dominant? Out of the two – Tony's okay. He's kind of out there riding around.
Tony has improved over the last few weeks, and his car is the same quality that you've got with Harvick and Busch, all right? Tony is still coming off that tragic accident he had last year, and I think he's been a little bit timid on the track. Granted, this is a sprint car. This is NASCAR. But I think he's coming around. I mean, he's had 2 great runs and got taken out at the last minute. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, he had a top 10 last week at Bristol. He came in 6th. Okay, so I think Stewart is either going to win or he's going to win a race. I think he's going to win a race, and he's going to be in the chase, and Stewart Haas is going to have at least 3 of the 4 teams in the chase.
Think so?
Yes.
Harvick, Stewart, and
Busch.
And Busch, yeah.
Danica, if she continues to improve, she might make it in on points. And if she does, then that's a sweep for Stuart Haas, and you can't say anything more about that. I mean, it's just awesome.
Yeah. Well, not for us, that was not awesome. But you like Stuart Haas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're giggly over there.
Yeah.
You're gaga.
I think it's great.
So, yeah. Yes, pretty good. Top 10 from yesterday goes like this. Kurt Busch and Harvick, as Horace alluded to, 1 and 2, Stuart Haas Racing. JJ finished third. Jamie McMurray fourth. We're going to hear from him here in just a second. Joey Logano fifth. Casey Kane sixth. Matt Kenseth seventh. Jeff Gordon eighth. Clint Boyer finished ninth yesterday after qualifying 17th. And Martin Truex Jr. finished 10th. Disappointments, obviously, get down to the bottom of the pack, and you would see Tony Stewart, and that wreck late in the race, finished 41st. Let's see, who else among notables that did not have a good day yesterday? I thought Casey Kane had a bad day, but apparently did not. That's right, he qualified bad, but he ends up having a decent run. He finished at 6th. Yeah, he qualified 40th, so he jumped 34 spots from the start of the race to the end of the race. That's pretty good driving, obviously. Denny Hamlin finished 22nd, not a good finish. Danica at 25th. She qualified 21st. So David Reagan, where'd David go? He, driving for Kyle Busch, qualified 10th, finished 23rd, which is not what he wanted, nor did they want. So not a good day for Joe Gibbs there in that respect. Carl Edwards qualified 18th, finished 19th. Not a good day for Edwards either. So, again, the big story yesterday was a guy named Jamie McMurray, and a question was posed to Jamie, this year's team versus last year's team. How do you feel about the car this year going forward for Jamie McMurray and Chip Ganassi Racing?
You know, I honestly look at every week like we'll have a chance to win. The 4 and the 41 are extremely quick, but I think we proved today that we have a team and a car capable of putting the right position to compete with those guys. So I'm really happy with my team. The 42 ran well last week at Bristol. Our whole group is really strong right now. We just have to, and we're doing it this year. We're getting the results of kind of where we've ran, and that was one of my goals in the off season, was to finish better than where I ran in the race, and that's hard to do. And I mean, when I look at Kevin and Jimmy Johnson, a lot of those guys, they tend to do that. They tend to run or finish just a little bit better than where they ran in the race, and I didn't do that last year. So we've done a really good job of being able to do that this year.
Jamie McMurray, nice run for the number one ride. Again, the Chip Ganassi ride, McDonald's. Of course, yesterday the Energizer was the sponsor on the car. And, again, Jamie McMurray, a solid fourth, qualified ninth. So, all of a sudden, he's in the hunt, and he is now in the ninth spot in points as they head off to Talladega coming up this weekend. This show being brought to you by the good folks from Larry Kaiser and Nationwide Insurance, Book Lovers Warehouse. We'll hear from Bob later on to the show. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, Kingsport Cabinetry, Jim Cline Farmers Insurance, American Import and Auto Repair, Bristol Motor Speedway and Dragway. Dragway folks start on Wednesday with us this week. We'll be giving away tickets to the Thunder Valley Nationals and NHRA a little bit later on here in the spring. Bracken Asphalt Maintenance and Paving. They're on the old Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance scoreboard. You know, the Apester was all over us Friday. We need to start putt-putt practice. She's our coach, and she said, I'm in it to win it. We got to start having some practices.
I don't need no practice.
I said, it's April. She said, I know my name. I said, no, the month is April. And I said, it's a little early.
I think she's going to realize when we get there that practice is going to go out the window once we step on the course.
Let me just say this to you. We could be practicing every day, and it ain't going to make a difference. No. She is in an uphill pull with the four guys on this team. You and I and Gator and
She needs to get on the bandwagon and wear her own Hawaiian shirt, put on a lei and a fancy hat.
I think she should.
Just come right out there. Wear her hump day hat.
Wear her hump day hat out there in the middle of August. That'd be good.
Fit right in.
Yeah. Anyway, we got a putt-putt tournament we're going to be playing in August to help raise money for St. Jude's, and the Apester is going to be the coach. That's always exciting, from Bracken Asphalt Maintenance and Paving. Also, Bays Mountain Park, we'll hear from Rob a little bit later on. Max Medicine Mart, and also the Gator Man's got the quiz show coming up here in about 10 minutes from the Cherokee Barbershop. So, and of course, they're closed today. He's fluff and fold and laundry day today, day off. And so, in fact, he's at the shop, so I guess he's doing a little cleaning up around the shop. It's been a busy week. And
he was at the shop Saturday, too.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
That's when you got your ears lowered.
Got my ears lowered.
Got your picture taken. I've seen that. He sent me a picture.
He did, didn't he?
I said, man, there's a lot of blade going across that noggin. That was a big noggin. So, but you got it, looking pretty. And now, did your mother make any comment at all about your hair?
No, I saw her Friday.
Okay. Oh, she didn't know that you got your hair cut because she'd already went back.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you did it for Mom. So
No,
I was telling her.
I did. Well, no, because I didn't go in until Saturday morning.
Yeah,
so.
she's already gone.
Yeah, she's done.
She did it for Mrs. B.
I did it for myself.
Oh, I was trying to flower it up a little bit. All right. Did you have a good experience at the old Cherokee Barbershop?
Cherokee Barbershop.
Yeah.
Does a good job. They
Yeah.
even had a shave.
Mm-hmm. Saturday morning was had bodies in there.
Yes, we did.
There you go.
I had to wait.
Isn't that great? He's doing a great job, really is, and
Yep.
and we appreciate the opportunity to tell you about this gentleman on South Roan Street in Johnson City, right down from Tipton Haynes Working Farm. Again, if the barber pole's out, he's in. Barber pole is not out today. He's closed on Mondays, Tuesday through Friday from 8:30 to 5, and Saturday from 8:30 to 1. I had a strong request, strong being the key word, to get the picture. He wants a picture of me up on the wall, the 8x10. Now, the one picture he took, even you can see it looked like death warmed over. It looked real pasty, and just so I'm going to get another picture. The one
I gave you a picture for him to sign, and I don't know what you did with it.
Oh, that picture, no, that's old pasty-looking sign. No, I don't want to do that. There's a picture. He took one of me before I got my hair cut, and it just looked like I've been shot and run over and drugged down the road on a bumper. So I went and found a prettier picture, but I don't know what I did with it. It's over there. It was over there. Did you move it by chance?
No, I ain't touched it.
All right.
That's got cooties all over it.
Oh, there we go. All right. Now we're into Cootieville. Let's see what's happening in the NBA. My boys got beat yesterday. That's not good. Spurs got beat. Series is tied 114 to 105 was the final. Series tied 2 games apiece. Cleveland wins the series over the Celtics. They go out with a whimper. They got swept. Cleveland wins it by 8. Washington wins that series over the Toronto.
I'm sorry, I was doing something else prepping for the next thing. I wasn't listening.
Thank you. Man, it's 2
The
feet away.
Raptors got swept.
Even he tunes me out. That's great. Boy.
Raptors got swept.
How you doing today, Tom? Not too good.
See, I did look into that, though, so
Yeah.
I knew what you're talking about.
Yeah. My ego, such as it is, has been squashed again by Horace. Washington eliminates the Raptors, blew them out by, 31 points. Woo! And then Dallas and Houston. Houston leads that series 3-1 as Dallas won it to stave off elimination, so they still will be playing tonight. Atlanta will be at Brooklyn, and Milwaukee plays at Chicago. Milwaukee, Chicago, and the Bulls can end that series tonight in the Windy City. And Memphis plays at Portland, and Memphis leads that series 3-0. They're going to try and finish it out. My boys play tomorrow night, the San Antonio Spurs in L.A. tomorrow night against the Clippers. On the ice, Minnesota, the Wild skate past St. Louis 4-1. Minnesota wins that series. Montreal beats Ottawa 2-0, shuts them out. The Canadiens win that series 4-2. Tonight on the ice, Tampa Bay skates to Detroit against the Red Wings, and Tampa Bay leads that series 3-2. And the Islanders skate tonight in Washington for the 7th deciding game. That one's tied at 3 tonight. They'll skate there in the nation's capital tonight in the National Hockey League Stanley Cup playoffs. So there you go. Lots going on in the world of sports. And also later on in the show, we'll bring you up to speed on softball and baseball. 3 conference championships will be decided later on today. A couple in baseball and 1 in softball to decide conference championships. Final week of the regular season. The tournaments start next week around Tennessee in baseball and softball. Quick break. We'll be right back. We'll get the Gator man, get him on, and get it on as we're going to have a little good time with my man, the Gator, with the quiz show coming up next on this Monday on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know to update your coverage when adult children move home? Oh, heck no.
Or that you could get coverage for identity theft through your homeowner's insurance.
And that your valuables can be covered by home insurance, even when they're not at home. The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us on this Monday. Again, Facebook and like us, and you have been. Wow. Like us and follow us. Facebook us and like us, whatever it's Facebook. You can like us on Facebook at the facebook.com/Tom Taylor Sports Show. Like and follow, and we got a bunch, and we thank you for that very, very much. Sam Monk being one of those in Colonial Heights. Hello, Sambo. Appreciate you very much saying yes, you like the show, and again, we thank you for that. Let's go to the phone. Gator Man's in the house. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Happy, happy, happy.
Yes, you are. You're like Phil Robertson. Happy, happy, happy. Now you went.
The facial hair.
There you go. How long do you think it would take you to cut Phil Robertson's beard?
Well, I could probably cut it in 3 seconds, but he might not like it.
Yeah. Now, when somebody comes in with a beard that long, I mean, you just kind of get in there, and is there any technique to it? Just get in there and just whack it all off.
It's like trimming hedges.
Yeah.
It's an artiste.
Yeah. How long do you think it took him to grow that beard, by the way?
I'd say that probably took him about a couple of years.
Yeah. Yeah. So
hair usually grows about ½ inch a month. So.
Oh, really?
I'd say on average. Some grow faster, some grow longer, but on average it's about ½ inch a month.
Was Horace a good client for you Saturday? Did he fidget in the seat, or did he sit there and behave himself?
Oh, he fell asleep.
I'm not surprised. There you go.
No, he didn't fall asleep, but I think he wanted to.
Did you fall asleep? Tell the truth.
No, I didn't fall asleep.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No. Did you fall asleep with me working on it?
No.
No. All right. So anyway, the barbershop closed today, ready to go tomorrow with the Gator Man from 8:30 to 5, and then 8:30 to 1 on Saturday, 8:30 to 5 Tuesday through Friday. Now, you went to East Tennessee State and saw the new uniforms today. Tell me about them.
They are sharp. The blue just pops. The yellow looks good. The white looks crisp. Very impressed.
Very good. Now, they had different sets, right? They can kind of mix and match?
Yeah, there's a total of 6 combinations.
Wow. Neat stuff. Good crowd?
Yeah, I was surprised. I'd say there's probably about 200, 250 people in that room.
Wow. To check out the uniforms. That's neat. So, good stuff. Again, the Gator Man.
They also showed the band uniforms, too. So.
And they look good, too, right?
They look real sharp.
Yeah. So that's good stuff. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of good things happening at East Tennessee State University right now, athletically. A lot of good stuff. So, all right, quiz show time. Here we go. We're about to go 5 for 5 and move that 8 to a 9. Here we go. Hit the magic theme as we work our way through this Monday with the Gator Man from the Cherokee Barbershop. All righty, let's play for a guy who listens, and we appreciate that. Andrew Darlington from Johnson City going to play for him today, and let's see what we can do. Gator, are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready. I was born ready, baby. So here we go. Question number 1. Horace already over snickering. He thinks I'm going to go down in flames, but ain't happening today. Question number 1. Here we go.
All right. The Reds were the first team in Major League Baseball to put the numbers on the back of the jerseys. True or false?
Now, Gator, why do you start with these kind of questions?
I think it's a great question.
It's baseball, and you're a Reds fan.
Yeah.
The Reds were the first team to put uniforms on the back of the jerseys. Is that the question?
The numbers on the back.
I mean, the numbers, back of the numbers on the back of the jerseys. Correct?
Correct.
True or false?
True or false?
Let's see. Why do we start like this? Okay. Numbers on the back of the jerseys. I'll say true.
It's false.
Okay.
It was the New York Yankees.
Okay. Well, that's all for today's show. Let's move on. We got lots of guests. Thank you, Gator. Stupid question. All right, let's go to number 2.
Number 2, Davy O'Brien won the first Heisman Trophy.
False.
That is correct. It's false.
There you go. Got that one.
Do you know who won it?
First Heisman Trophy was Galloping somebody, the Galloping Ghost.
Jay Burnwinger in 1935.
I was close. I knew Jay's family once. Okay.
Galloping Jay. That was his.
Jumping Jay, I think. All right, so stupid question of the Reds. 1 for 2. All right, go ahead.
The term home run originated in baseball. True or false?
Ooh. The term home run originated in baseball?
Correct.
That's false.
That is false.
There you
know
go.
Where it originated?
Yeah, I read it someplace one time, but I knew it wasn't baseball.
It's cricket.
Nope, I wasn't going to get that one. I thought I was going to say tennis, but all right. Number 3 is I'm 2 for 3. Number 4, stupid question number 1. Did the Reds jerseys have numbers on them? True or false? God.
Wilt Chamberlain never fouled out of an NBA game.
That is false.
That is true.
No, he did foul out.
He never fouled out.
No, he did foul out. Yes, he did.
Not according to the
Hey, you only get one buzzer over there. Leave me alone.
That was worth 2.
Oh, stupid question. Well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Yeah, you're right. I saw him in an exhibition game foul out. You're talking about a regular season game. All right.
Yep.
Stupid question number 2. Okay, go ahead.
Last question.
We're 2 for 2. Now you're either going to be above 500 or below 500.
I've lost interest. I don't care. Go ahead. Let's get it over with.
In the Abbott and Costello routine, who's on first? They have a name for every position on the field in baseball. True or false?
In Abbott and Costello, who's on first? This may be the dumbest question I've ever
been asked.
This is
the best question of the day.
Abbott and Costello, every position on the field had a name. Is that correct?
Correct.
I'll say true.
It's false.
Okay.
They didn't have one for right field. They had 8, not 9.
Okay. Well, Gator's been nice playing. You'll never get back on the show again because those are the dumbest questions. Abbott and Costello, Wilt Chamberlain, and the Reds.
Awesome, Gator. Awesome.
Hey, now, how you doing against me now?
I'm not doing well. So
I think that we're 500.
I think we are. We may be 500. I go 2 for 5 in this stupid thing. The Reds, Wilt Chamberlain, Abbott and Costello. So I think it's only fair. Next week, it's my turn to ask you the questions. Does that be good?
Let's do it.
All right. So, yeah. I'm going to call you Flame because that's where you're going to go, down in flames. All right. So next week, I'll ask the Gator man. So I go 2 for 5. Are you sure the Reds were? Are you sure the Yankees did that first?
Yankees are the first ones to do everything. Probably the first ones to have a player put in jail. I don't know.
Oh, that's a good figure.
All right. All right, Gator man, you're the best. I appreciate you, and thank you. And tell me about your shop one more time, as always.
Haircuts are free with an $11 cup of coffee purchase. Come on down. Best place to hang out in Johnson City.
If the poll's out, you're in, right?
That is correct.
And again, South Run Street, right down from Tipton Haynes Farm, Tuesday through Friday from 8:30 to 5, and Saturday from 8:30 to 1. So since you went to the uniform presentation, does that put you behind doing the fluff and fold today? Are you behind?
Oh, no, I did that this morning about 4:30.
Oh, you got up at 4:30 and did laundry?
I'm an early bird, yeah.
What time do you go to bed?
About 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Oh, man, the sun's still up.
So that's why I got my windows blacked out.
I'm not sure I would have admitted that.
He's got black plastic on his windows.
When I'm sleepy, I sleep.
You go to bed at 8:30 or 9 o'clock every night?
Unless I have a ball game.
Holy smokes. All right. All right, Gator man, you're the best. Take care. Keep smiling. And next week, I'm going to ask you really stupid questions. So
Well, that's a given.
Oh, that's good.
Love you, brother.
Oh, I love you, man. Take care. I'll talk to you next week.
Oh, have a good one.
All right, good man right there, the Gator man. That's good. I think that was a slam from Gator. I think I just.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So I'm going to ask you a stupid question. Well, that's a given. Okay, that's great. Now,
hey, look up at that Bracken Asphalt Maintenance scoreboard.
Yeah, I got you. It's
still at 8.
It's still stuck at 8, yes. No, I got you. All right, so anyway, let's see. The Apester sends me something, so let's see. Apester says our putt-putt practices are Mondays through Saturday from 4 to 6 a.m. and 6 to 8 p.m. You can rest on Sundays. Oh, we're doing it twice a day.
We're doing it twice a day.
4 to 6 in the mornings and 6 to 8. Wonder if there's running involved, training. You reckon? You suppose?
I'm wearing skates.
Good grief. Well, anyway, there you go. The Gator man has prevailed again, 2 for 5. Man, I'm going backwards here on these things. I got to get better. I got to get somebody else to ask me some cheesy questions. So, did you know any of those? You didn't know any of those.
I knew.
I thought sure the Reds were the first
well,
one.
No. I would have guessed that as being false. I would have.
You
guessed
said
that
true.
One. Yeah, I wouldn't. The Reds were not the first ones. I would have thought somebody else was the first. Yeah,
okay.
So I would have got that one.
What about Wilt?
Well, Chamberlain, I would have flipped the coin, and I would have said something like along the lines like I do to you. That's so stupid. That's got to be true.
Yeah.
So I would have got that one. So I would have been probably 4 for 5.
Gotcha.
My guess.
All right. And then Abbott and Costello.
Well, no. I knew that one.
How'd you know Abbott and Costello?
Because I listened to it. I've listened to that many times, and I read about it. I know there was one position that did not have a name because I never talked about it. So that's it.
Yeah,
I would have gone 5 for 5, big guy.
Yeah, I've never heard who's on first, Abbott and Costello, or not the whole thing, parts of it. But anyway, there you go, 2 for 5. So Andrew Darlington, not this week, Cowboy. Maybe next week. Next week it'll be Gator. I'll be asking him the question. I got to remind myself to do that. So, hey, it's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Here's our thought for the day, brought to you by our buddy Larry Kaiser from Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance. 282-1389 is the number to call. By the way, we got Chase Elliott coming up. We'll hear from Chase coming up in a few minutes about how things are going from him and how things went or how things are going from the Xfinity Series to the Cup Series. We'll hear from Chase Elliott later in the show. Also coming up, we'll hear from Jim Cline, our buddy from Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. Carey Daniels, the athletic director from Dobyns. Bennett, got a busy next hour. Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park. Richard Pendleton, and also Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse. All those folks will be with us coming up a little bit later on in the show. So our thought for the day is from Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. The measure of a man's real character is what he would do if he knew he would never be found out. The measure of a man's real character is what he would do if he knew he would never be found out. So there you go. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good way to take a look at things. The measure of a man's real character is what he would do if he knew he would never be found out.
Okay, so if he never was found out, then his character is going to be spotless regardless of what he does.
No. Measure of a man's real character is what he would do if he knew he would never be found out. So if he knowingly bent the rules or did something crooked or illegal, the measure of a man's real character is what he would do if he knew he would never be found out. So if I can get by with something and I knew nobody would ever catch me, but I go ahead and do it. And someone with integrity would say, nah, it's still not right because I still got to live myself.
All right.
So you with me?
I'm with you.
Yeah. But
if you never get found out, I mean, who's the judge?
The Lord and yourself.
Okay.
You're self-conscious and your integrity or your character.
But if you have no integrity, you don't have no conscience either.
Right. That's what it's saying.
Okay.
So the man.
I'm baiting you, big guy.
Oh, no, you're right there. I understand you live in a confused world. I understand that. I've been with you for 12 weeks.
Trying to get you. Oh, yeah.
I understand. I've been around him every day for 12 weeks. I understand there's a state of confusion. That's why we click. To measure a man's real character.
I'm not confused.
Is what he would do if he knew he would never be found out. So you're baiting me. You're trying to tweak me. I figured out. I saw that coming. I thought, I'm being snookered here. All right. Let's see what's happening on the local sports scene thanks to the Johnson City Press. And we've got not one, not two, but 3 championships going to be decided today. Baseball, Science Hill plays host to Sullivan Central. A win by the Hilltoppers gives them a share of the Big 7 conference title with Dobyns Bennett. In softball, Elizabethton travels to play Unicoi County. Now, they snapped their 41-game winning streak in the conference last week, so the Lady Cyclones go to Irwin today. With a victory, Lady Cyclones could force a 3-way tie for the Three Rivers Conference Championship with Unicoi and Happy Valley. I would say, given the fact Unicoi County came off of winning the Tiny Day softball tournament over the weekend, that's the 3rd one they've won. They won the Eastman Invitational. They won the one way back in March. It was hosted by Science Hill at Wing Deer Park. They won that one, and now they won the Tiny Day. So given the fact that they're, what is the record? The Lady Blue Devils right now in softball are 37-3. I would go on record and say there's going to be a pretty good chance they're going to win that game in Irwin today.
I'd say you're probably good. You're probably right on that.
Lady Cyclones will give them all they want, but I think when the smoke clears, Unicoi County will win that game. They'll win the conference championship. And then in the Watauga Valley Conference in softball, University High plays host to North Green, with the winner earning the title there. So that's kind of where things are at right now in those three conferences. Again, we're coming down the home stretch, as we told you, and tournament play starts next week. Now, let's run down baseball for today. Central at Science Hill, Tennessee High at Daniel Boone. Volunteer Crockett and Sullivan East plays at Dobyns Bennett. Then I think most teams are going to shut down and get ready for the tournaments that start later on this week. In softball today, big day. As I say, they're going to shut things down. Well, they're going to be playing a lot. Gate City's at Science Hill. Elizabethton's ladies, as we said, at Unicoi County. Volunteer plays at Daniel Boone. That's going to be a barn burner. Volunteer at 7-2, and Daniel Boone's ladies at 5-6, but they are very much in the hunt. They're 22-9 on the season, are the Lady Trailblazers. They'll play that in Boone, or at Boone, at 4:30 this afternoon. Dobyns Bennett ladies play at Sullivan Central. Greenville will be at Happy Valley. You have Hampton at Sullivan East, North Green at University High, South Green at West Green, and Sullivan South hosting Unaka in the conference or non-conference game tonight at Sullivan South. So, as we said, Unicoi County wins its second straight Tiny Day Classic Championship, beating Union County 2-1, and so they have won the East Tennessee Classic, what it was called, the Eastman Invitational, and the Nuclear Fuel Services events earlier this season. They've now won 4 tournaments, and they're 37-3, and I think they're going to be the team to beat coming out of this area, going down to Middle Tennessee for the state tournament. I think Unicoi County is going to make a run. I'd like to see them win it, obviously, but I think they're going to make a run. So, baseball. Let's look a little baseball. How's our Reds doing?
I think they got beat
5-2. So they're now 8-10. They're 4.5 back of the Cardinals.
Ooh, below 500.
Oh yeah. They got Milwaukee coming tonight, so they can get healthy. Jason Marquis coming to town for the Brew Crew. Be pitching for the Redlegs tonight for the Brew Crews. Nelson will be on the hill. Let's look at the standings. New York at 14-4. I think they're the best team in baseball. They are. New York Mets, they're 5 games ahead of the Braves, who are 9-9. Central Division, the Cardinals 2 games better than the Cubbies in Pittsburgh. Reds 4.5 back. Western Division, the Dodgers a game better than Colorado and San Diego. In the American League, in the East, Tampa Bay a half game better than New York. Toronto in the cellar at 9-10. Although Dino pitched well Saturday.
Dino got robbed of a win.
Yeah.
He pitched 7 great innings.
Yeah.
Went out with the lead, and the bullpen let him down.
Yeah, bullpen had a meltdown. Had 7 strikeouts. Dino, so he'll pitch again probably Friday night, I would think. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday he'll pitch again for the Blue Jays. Tampa Bay, again, a half game better than the Yankees in the East. In the Central, Detroit a half game better than Kansas City. In the West, Houston 2.5 better than the Los Angeles Angels. So that's your baseball schedule tonight. Milwaukee at Cincinnati, the Mets in Miami, Atlanta hosting Washington, Pittsburgh at Chicago, Cardinals hosting Philadelphia, Colorado at Arizona, Houston at San Diego, and San Francisco against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. In the American League, Kansas City at Cleveland, Toronto will be at Fenway to battle the Red Sox, Chicago at Baltimore tonight, Yankees home to Tampa Bay, Seattle at Texas, Detroit at Minnesota, and Houston at San Diego. And didn't say where the Toronto Blue Jays are going to be at. Oh, yeah, they're playing in Fenway. So he may be pitching Friday or Saturday. Nope, it'll be a new series. So he won't be pitching at Fenway because they'll be out of there by probably Tuesday or Wednesday. So wherever they're going to be for the weekend, Dino should be pitching in that series. So now you're up to date with sports in a roundabout way, and we're going to take a break, come right back, and we do. We'll find out from Horace. A high school pitcher strikes out 23 in a perfect game and loses. He'll have that story for us coming up next. We'll take a break. You won't have that story.
Well, I'll have to find it again.
Oh, I got it over here. I was just trying to just trying to be palsies.
I know it.
I guess I'll keep it over here. I got it right here. So we'll take a break. It's over on the left coast, by the way, in California. We'll take a break. We'll come right back. We are with you, and you're with us on a Monday on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Sports baseball writer
You want
Dane
to honor
Carey
your
here to
mom
talk
this
about the
Mother's
injury
Day?
to Cardinals
At Max
ace
Medicine
Adam
Mart,
Wainwright.
they have everything you'll
Our
need
own
to
John
say
Heyman
thanks
has
to that special lady. Create a special gift basket full of quality Burt's Bees products: moisturizing cream, facial scrub, lip balm, beeswax hand cream, just to mention a few, or pamper mom with a foot massager to re-energize her tired and sore feet, or a pair of stylish Franklin brand sunglasses, Or maybe a specialty tea for Mom with over 40 shelves of teas to choose from. Lots of choices for Mom for Mother's Day at Max Medicine Mart, Center Street, Kingsport. Open 7 days a week. This Mother's Day, make tracks to Max.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Kingsport Cabinetry installs cabinets and countertops all over the 3-state region. Owner Richard Isaacs tells us about the business.
Kingsport Cabinetry is a locally owned hometown business. I've been here since 1999. Was in the cabinet business about 12 years before that, so I've been doing cabinet work ever since I got out of college. I've been in business almost 30 years in this cabinet business, and I like what I do. We try to give a very personal touch with our customers and clients. We do residential, we do commercial, we do about anything that someone would need. And like I say, we're hometown local, and we try to give very personal service.
Kingsport Cabinetry, where quotes are free. Call today, 247-6134, 247-6134. Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this Friday, kicking off the weekend. Good place to go. It would be our friends again at Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City, between Johnson City and Jonesboro. Right there, you turn right there at Sonic Drive-In. It's right beside Harbor Freight Tools. Bob's with us. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Oh, listen, I'm doing great. We had a wonderful day yesterday, and I'm hoping that people come in and buy some great stuff because we have one of the best selections of any type of sports books or health books or religious books that you can imagine.
We'll talk about the sports books in just a second. I do want to squeeze in the fact that Civil War, you got some new Civil War books. Tell me about that.
I got a big
selection. Sports show. Thanks for being with us on this Monday.
We're just having all kinds of troubles here this afternoon.
We are?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, we're all right. So, anyway, it is what it is. It's a Monday, and oh man, I like this little set here. We're gonna have to do this. That's a good-looking little set right here. Anyway, we're back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, and let's see, we've got ourselves Highland High School in Palmdale, California. Wow. This young lady's name is Rachel Garcia. She's heading off to UCLA. And again, Garcia allowing no base runners, struck out 23 batters, including the first 18 she faced in the final of a tournament game Saturday. But she loses 1-0 to Camarillo High School after Highland's catcher made a throwing error in the 8th inning. The best any Camarillo batter could do was a weak grounder to second. On the other side, Camarillo ace Emily Orozco struck out 16, allowed just 2 hits but no runs. She was named the tournament MVP. And so Garcia says pretty tough. All you can do is learn from it and move on to the next game. Struck out 23, including the first 18 she faced. That'd be 6 threes or 18. The first 6 innings, she strikes out everybody she faces in the tournament game on Saturday. But her school loses 1-0 to Camarillo after Highland's catcher made a throwing error in the 8th inning. Wow. How disappointing could that be? Softball games tend to be dominated by pitchers. So the rules include something called a California tiebreaker. So games don't necessarily continue for infinite innings. And so how this works, once extra innings begin, usually the 7th or 8th inning in softball in California, a runner is placed at second base to start every frame. What? How it works, once extra innings begin in California, A runner is placed at second base to start every frame. That way a team can score by bunting or over or getting around without the benefit of a hit. It's kind of like overtime rules in college football. Are you kidding me? So if we go to extra innings in California, they put somebody out at second base and say, all right, roll the dice, see if you can get home. If you get home, you win. That's like those questions Gator asked me. That's stupid. So you got to be kidding me. Well, what is the point? What's the point of playing 6 or 7 innings of regulation softball only to say, okay, well, let's put old horse out there at second, see if he can make it in. Well, good grief. Okay, the argument would be games just go on and on and on. Okay, but if you've worked your fanny off through these, up to these, I guess they play 7 innings of softball. So if you work your hiney off to get to 7 innings and then you get to the extra innings, we just put somebody out at second, see if they can make it home. Well, I mean, what is the point? I mean, it's like, I don't get that. What am I missing? Been around sports all my life. I'm thinking, now, wait a minute. Make sure I get this right.
It's a touchy-feely
for heaven's
world.
sakes. It's a bunch of hogwash is what it is. All right.
There you go.
Oh, good grief. All right, so 2 teams played the other day. Let's see. The one Highland was playing in Thousand Oaks because there are other teams, everyone hasn't gotten all day for a 24-inning softball game. Softball games tend to be dominated by pitchers, so the rules include something in California called a California tiebreaker, so the games don't go on and on. This is how it works. Once extra innings begin, a runner is placed at second base to start every frame. That's just stupid. I mean, what is the point? Forget the game. Just put somebody out at second to start the games. If you make it home, you win, the game's over. Come on. That way a team can score by bunting her over and getting her in without the benefit of a hit. It's kind of like overtime rules in college football. Now, the question is, and I'd have to dig into this, if you do it, is the game over? I guess it would be. In college football, whoever scores first, they win. Is that right?
Yep. Well, say that again.
They say it's kind of like overtime rules in college football. So,
each team gets the ball once from the 25, and if they score a touchdown, the other team gets the ball. They score a touchdown, you go to double overtime.
So each team ought to get I guess each team gets a shot here in California at this game. In other words, if you score first, is it over? Do I get my shot?
Well, you've already said the magic word.
California.
You got it.
You got it.
My land of fruits and nuts, baby.
I mean, come on. I didn't realize that. All right, so learn something new. Going forward, the tiebreaker in California could be suspended for the final game of a tournament, considering that no other teams are beholden to the result, or just give a limit of 16 innings. That's what I would do. Just set a time, 16, 18 innings, no one wins, call both teams the champions because there's no discernible difference between the two. Now, wait a minute. You played, so we both play. We get to the 16th inning. It's a 4-4 deadlock. All right, game's over. You win, we win, everybody's champions. All God's children, good, let's go home. No, that ain't how it's going to work. Anyway, this is happening. Now you got me on a soapbox here. This is happening out in California, out on the left coast. What was the name of the school? Palmdale, California? Yeah, Highland High School, Palmdale, California. Rachel Garcia struck out 23, including the first 18 she faced in the final of a tournament game on Saturday, but her school loses 1-0 after Camarillo's catcher made a throwing error in the 8th inning because that was when they put somebody out at second base. She made a throwing error. Girl came home and scored. Game's over. See, that is just nuts. I'd go bananas. Okay. You played softball. What would you think? What's your take? Oh, you already told me it's land fruits and nuts. Holy tamale.
You know, I better watch myself. I won't say anybody's. Well, I don't know. That made a lot of sense, didn't it?
Yeah, California. We got people in California.
Well, I think there's a server out in California that funnels.
But we got people in California.
But there's something in California that listen. Yeah, so.
So go nice. Be easy.
But, well, I feel for you people.
Yeah.
You still got a bunch of fruits and nuts out there. Yeah. They're making decisions that kind of.
I mean, think about it. What's the point? All right, let's say tonight. Let's use the game. Unicoi County, Elizabethton. They're a 4-4 tie. They get to the 7th inning, game's tied. All right, so they say, Elizabethton, put a girl at second base. Let's see what happens. And if she scores, it's over. I guess Unicoi County gets her shot too. And then
they can keep going.
Let's keep going. See, I just,
they've taken the
that's why they play the game.
Competitive nature
yes.
that makes people better, and they've just trampled and stomped all over it.
Wait a minute. Let me give a. Go ahead. I'm trying to do some patriotic music.
That's all right. I'm telling you, when I grew up, if you won, you won. If you lost, you lost.
It.
And you live by it.
That's it. Life goes on.
It's not fair. So what? I mean, you become a better person.
Life,
if you don't win this time, you work harder to win next time.
Yeah. Yeah. Life's not fair. Train rolls on.
But out in California, everybody's got to win.
Well, but it may have started there, but it's kind of mushroomed across this country too. There's stuff around here too where they play kickball. I mean, is it kickball or dodgeball? No, it's kickball. And they don't keep score.
Next thing you know, they're going to ban Gatorade.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Why would they ban Gatorade?
I'm just saying it's California.
Okay, I got you. I'm thinking, wait a minute. What's that going to do with keeping score? I see what you're saying. But anyway, so that's the softball scenario there in California. But honest to Pete, let them play and let them see what happens. I mean, that's why you play the game.
If the score's tied at the end of 9 innings, you
play
go to the 10th.
If
you go to the 11th, go to the 12th. I mean,
yeah. If you lose, you lose. Sun comes up tomorrow, you keep on trucking.
This is all about trying to speed it up and get it over with.
Well, that plus we're in a society now where nobody wants to be hurt, have hurt feelings. They stopped playing dodgeball because they didn't want somebody to get put out and you get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Well, it's life, Now, what I did see happen, which I thought was good, back in the day when we played dodgeball in grade school, obviously the guys were stronger athletes more times than not, and the girls were not. So what they did, what I've seen them do here lately, is they have the girls against girls dodgeball. I'm perfectly okay with that. That's almost like they're doing Washington County middle school football, playing to the level of your talent. Let the guys play against the guys dodgeball because they're meaner and stronger and all that.
Yep.
We're talking about grade school. And then they let the girls do dodgeball against themselves. Because I know how many girls did you play dodgeball that just stood there and waited to get hit and go, okay, I'm out, because they didn't want to play.
They don't want to play.
No, and I can't blame because them boys rev up and bring out dodgeball 120 miles an hour, and it hurt when he got hit. I don't blame them. So now they've kind of – I can understand that. But just to totally eliminate dodgeball because little Tommy may get his feelings hurt if he gets put out. Well, Tommy, suck it up and pick up the ball and hit somebody. Good grief. All right.
Well, the only thing California's got going for it right now is the weather.
Yeah. I'm not even sure it's – I mean, it may have started there, but it's coming this way, and it's already here in some cases. But anyway, that's the latest on softball. And bottom line of those, the story I was going to talk about the young lady striking out 23 and losing, but now you got me on a tangent here about the scorekeeping in California, the California tiebreaker. Holy smokes. I would go nuts. Man, how would you feel like a player? You're out there in the hot sun of California, and you're landing out there on the line, and it's decided because the catcher makes a throwing error because they put a girl at second base. I would just snap. Oh, me, oh, my. I'm almost ready to snap now, but take a big, deep breath.
Yeah, talk about me getting on my soapbox.
Oh, that just jacks me up right there. Goodness gracious. We've got to get tougher in this country again. We're a bunch of willy-nillys. I'm telling you. It's scary.
We're a land of wimps.
Yeah, and you go, yeah. Okay.
Got one in the White House, too. Oop, did I say that? Oh!
So, I broke that. Did I break it? Hit it smoke.
Broke his bell.
You can break my bell. No, that's ring my bell. I'm sorry. It's a disco song. All right, quick break. We'll move on. We'll shift gears. Coming up, we're going to check in with, let's see what we got. We got them lined up, ready to go. We got Jim Cline from Farmers Insurance. We've got Carey Daniels, the Dobyns Middle Athletic Director. We've got Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park. We've got Richard Pendleton talking about the St. Jude's Golf Tournament. And we may squeeze in Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse.
I think I got him this time.
Okay, we had a little technical snafu there. And now, here's what I saw as we go to the break. It may be in that computer, but it's not in that computer. Now, what I was told last week, when you record in that computer, if you use that computer, we can use it on air. So I use that computer.
Yeah, but you got to transfer it from this computer to that computer to play it.
First I heard about transfer it. And all I see, you don't see it going, yeah, it's not on that one, but it's got to be in that one. It's like, oh, it's okay. It's Monday. Take a break.
Yeah.
We'll be right back with the Tom Taylor.
Good of a break.
The Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Monday. We'll be right back.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at FCA.org.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about insurance because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that it's smart to replace washing machine hoses every 5 years? What if you didn't know that you might need extra coverage for more expensive items? And what if you didn't know that teen drivers are 4 times more likely to get into an accident? So, the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
That tells you it's the top of the hour. Start of hour number 2. This thing flies by, and we're looking at real soon. I keep saying that, but I got to sit down and make a determination to go 3 hours. And also, we're going to open up the phone line, start taking calls, let people weigh in on some of the stuff we're talking about. So all that's in the offing in the not-too-distant future. One of our great sponsors, our buddy Jim Cline for Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. He's with us by telephone. Good afternoon, you big old tall drink of water. How you doing?
Good afternoon. It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood, is it not?
It is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Springtime in East Tennessee can't hardly beat it. I'll tell you, it's great. The humidity has not kicked in yet. Now, when are we going to come over and we're going to break bread? I won the bet, so Horace and you and I are going to sit down at Braden's Barbecue and eat like kings. Do we need to plan that here in the not-too-distant future? Can we do that?
Oh, I thought we had it on the schedule. Lord, I mean, are you already bailing on me?
I didn't know we were.
You trying to not show up so you don't have to eat with me or something?
Well,
I understand.
What day is it? Do we have it on the schedule? I didn't know that.
See.
Oh, yeah. I think
I have it on Wednesday. The 29th at 11 o'clock. You know, I already looked at my week's calendar to kind of see what it looked like. You know, I knew I was going to get upset by your phone call today, and then I got to look at you on Wednesday. I'm like, what a week. What a week.
It's Heartburn City.
It is Heartburn City.
Well, we'll try and work on that. I may have to switch. We'll see if we can't make it happen this Wednesday at 11 o'clock.
Well, yeah, if you're not showing up, it'd be nice if you tell me. Gosh almighty.
Yeah, I'll let you know here in a little while.
We might need to get a little more life insurance on you, because when I twist your head off, your loved ones might like to have that pay off. So
there you
we
go.
Might need to work on that.
I'll work on that. That's good. We're talking to our buddy Jim Cline from Farmers Insurance. Again, he was earned a number 1 again in, what did we say, 5 states? Tennessee, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio. Let's see, Tennessee, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio. The President's Council for the 3rd year. I don't think anybody's done it 3 years in a row, and you've done it. Not very many people have. You've done it 3 straight years. That's because you give great customer service. So, having said that, we've had some storms come through. Let's talk a little homeowners, spring storms. What's kind of the no-brains? What are some of the things we need to have for a homeowner's insurance?
You know, the thing that we want to talk to you about is we want to talk to you about your coverages. We want to sit down and look at, you know, Lord forbid if we did lose the house, what's it going to take to rebuild it back? And then what kind of coverages do we have? Do we have replacement costs? Do we have actual cash value? You know, just what you're talking about with storms, we've got a lot of companies making changes. You know, a lot of our competition are putting actual cash value on roofs, so we want to explain that to you. You know, as long as you've maintained and that roof's been replaced, Farmers still offers replacement on the roof. Some are going to percentage deductibles, so you may have a 1% deductible. So what does that mean to you? So it means you may have more out-of-pocket if you have that loss. So, you know, if that tree limb was to hit the house or the strong wind was to blow the shingles off, you know, how are you covered? You know, we just would like the opportunity to discuss that with you and talk to you about farmers coverage, what we can do, what would it take to rebuild your house? You know, as I talk to people, I was talking to somebody the other day, and, you know, they still say market out there is good, but they're getting good values to buy these homes. But what would it take to rebuild it if you hire that contractor? So we talk about, you know, $100, $125 a square foot, and you may be purchasing it for $85 to $90 a square foot, but that wouldn't build it back. So get a good deal, that's great, but let's look at how we're going to insure it so we can put the same square footage, number of baths, and have all the proper coverage to replace that roof, replace the siding that might get damaged. You know, what do we need to do?
We're talking to Jim Cline from Jim Cline Farmers Insurance. Again, farmers, man, they do a great job, that one and done. So homeowners, now you also sell renters insurance, do you not?
We do, and, you know, as I tell every renter, you know, the thing about it that we got to be concerned isn't always you. It could be your neighbor below you, beside you, or whatever. They may leave something on that starts a fire when you're going to work. And you know, the thing about your renter's insurance is, you know, you're covering your personal belongings. We do replacement on that as well. So it doesn't matter if somebody gave it to you or if you bought it at a discount store. We know we're looking to buy it back for like, kind, and quality for new again. You may not find that deal again. We just got to get the items purchased. Plus, we pay additional living expenses. So if it's going to be a 2 or 3 days or a week for your landlord to get things repaired and get back in the house, they're going to pay hotel, motel expenses. Or if you're going to have to relocate, find another place to live, and then start buying your things back, you know, that may take close to 30 days. So we're going to pay those additional expenses that's included in that so that you don't have that out of pocket while you're trying to get your life back into order.
We're talking to Jim Cline, 247-5400. Again, he is the Numero Uno Farmers Agent in 5 states. Again, Tennessee, Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and Ohio. And he's a phone call away. Located on Center Street in Kingsport, but again, obviously writes property, writes insurance, I should say, on property and anything else that we're about to talk about in a minute across 5 great states, including the great state of Tennessee and Virginia. And you have a lot of folks in Southwest Virginia. You have a lot of clientele in that direction, do you not?
We do, because just like you said, we service, you know, all the Tri-Cities and over into Gate City and Weber City. A lot of people come to Kingsport to trade, go up into Pennington Gap. I have a couple of clients, or more than a couple, that have land and property in Virginia, and they live in Tennessee, so we can help them out. We can do the second homes or the rental houses just as well. Put the package together to properly insure those things for them. So as you said, you know, we just ask for the opportunity. You know, if you're hearing us on there, through the waves or whatever, give us a call, 247-5400. We'll be glad to work with you, talk with you over the phone, use technology, you know, internet, email, fax, mail, whatever's easiest for you. Or, you know, we'd love you to come in. You know, stop by the office. Office is open from 8 to 5:30 Monday through Thursday, and 8 to 5 on Fridays. You can mortally come by. We keep someone in here. You know, we have Sandy that keeps me in line and everything running, and Tracy that helps her, and then I'm here to back them up at some sort. So I try to help out when they let me.
We're talking to Jim Cline. Before I let you go, again, spring is right around – not spring, but summertime's right around the corner. First big vacation weekend coming up, Memorial Day weekend, which is not that far away. So, having said that, if you have we talked about this last time, jet skis or a boat that you want to make sure they're insured if you're going to stay here local, or getting ready to go on vacation and going to be driving to Myrtle Beach, or I don't know, pick a place.
Or you buy that travel trailer. You know, just like you said, those toys. That's what I'm working on right now. I have a gentleman that bought a travel trailer. So not only is he going to use it to maybe go on vacation, he also owns the land on the lake. So he's going to take it and set it up on the lake and leave it there as well. So we all kind of look at that a little different because that's more stationary. It's going to be there more often, a little more usage, but we have the proper coverage for that if there was a loss. And then same thing if he's going to pull it to the beach or pull it to the mountains or pull it somewhere else to use it. So we do the boats and the jet skis, and so then the items you're pulling it with, that truck or that vehicle, you know, do we have the right limits of liability? Do we have the towing and emergency road service if we have the breakdown, the car rental, the glass coverage? Again, we want to address all the coverages that you have and go over them. Another thing through Farmers and Jim Cline Agency is we do reference offering farmers-friendly reviews. So we give you a call once a year. Not saying you got to come in every year. Just we offer the opportunity to come in and ask questions. We want to go over coverages again with you, remind you how things are. You don't do it every day like we do. We want to make sure that you understand what you have before a loss happens and what coverages you do have and what other things are offered that you may not have elected to take when you started that you might want to add to it now.
Great report, my friend. 247-5400, the number to call. Again, he's a big old tall drink of water. He's one and done because we're about wrapping this thing up. So we will get back to you about lunch on Wednesday. I guess we need to let you know if we're not coming. Would that be probably fair, wouldn't it?
That would be fair. Of course, if you don't come, we'll just bill you. We bill by hour. It's okay.
I love it. All right.
I love you, too.
All right. I'll be
Thank you much.
You got it. I'm one and done. Thank you.
Take care.
All right. Great job, everybody. Jim Cline for Jim Cline Farmers Insurance does a wonderful job. So I guess we need to decide where we can get over there Wednesday and have lunch. So you game? I can't remember what I got going on Wednesday.
I got to look at my calendar, too.
Me, too. It's getting busy. Boy, before the show, it gets stacked up every day, and that's okay. It's a good thing. So, anyway, Jim Cline, Farmers Insurance, he does a great job. We appreciate him very, very much. Let's see. Before we go to the break, we got Carey Daniels waiting on us. We're going to check in with him by the DB Sports Report. Spring Sports. Last week it was Danny Good to Daniel Boone, and we have Josh Kye also coming up later this week. We're going to have Keith Turner from Science Hill is going to give us a sports update there from the Hilltopper camp, and so a lot of folks we're talking about this time of year. Also, I went totally blank. What's the athletic director at Elizabethton?
You're asking me?
Mike Wilson. Nah, I'm just thinking out loud. So we're going to be talking to him a little bit later on this week. Well, Cowboys say not interested in getting Adrian Peterson.
Nope.
So they're backing away from him. Now, you told me before we went on the show the Raiders are backing off, or he's not. He's backing off of the Raiders, maybe.
It depends on where he wants to go more so than and who can afford him.
Yeah.
Because Dallas, he would love to play for Dallas, but I think Dallas doesn't want to touch that because it's going to cost too much. He's a 30-year-old back, maybe has 3-4 years max left in him. He still has $16 million on his contract this year, $16 million. I just don't, it's going to cost a pretty penny to get him to get it work a trade, and most teams aren't going to be able to afford him.
No, that's the problem.
Plus, he would have to want to go there.
Let's say the Raiders got the money though,
but he may not want to go to the Raiders.
If they've got the money, nobody else got the money. That's where I'd go. It's called supply and demand. So, or you can stay with the Vikings. But there again, you made a good point a couple of weeks ago. The Vikings, when all this came down, the rule in this country is you're innocent until proven guilty, and so immediately they suspended him till things went through the courts in the proper way. And so he may be a little stung by the way the Vikings, in his estimation, didn't back him up when the tough things got a little tough. So I think it's one of the reasons he does not want to stay in Minnesota. So Cowboys said, no, we can't afford him. They're going to go ahead and roll the dice and try and get a younger running back. Maybe Todd Gurley from Georgia is going to be in the draft on Thursday, or Melvin Gordon out of Wisconsin maybe in the first round. We'll have to wait and see. But would Peterson love to play in Dallas? His agent says absolutely. Is the Cowboys' brain trust willing to part with the draft compensation and money it would take to land Peterson? No, not a chance. A lot of money. 30-year-old running back, as Horace said, guy's going to get $12 million this year. Whoever picks up that contract gets $12 million added right to their contract. To their piggy bank to pay for this guy for 16 games. So, and he's 30 years old, as you said. He's not over the hill, but he's not in his prime either. So he's taking a pounding. But anyway, that's where we are.
Tampa and Atlanta still may be in the mix. They're two teams that may have the pocketbook and need a need for a running back of his caliber.
Think of that one. Jameis and Peterson are the same team in Tampa Bay. Woohoo! That'll sell tickets. And the Cardinals, too. Cardinals are looking at them. The Arizona Cardinals are somewhat interested as well. But I guess the front runners are the Falcons and Tampa Bay.
I tell you what, if Tampa goes after him, that just proves there's a stupid gene. That's all I'm going to say. Going after Winston and Peterson.
There you go. So enough said on that one. Quick break. We'll be right back. He's due to join us. He, of course, as we mentioned, the athletic director from Kingsport Dobyns Bennett High School. By the way, hello to David Rotenberry. Appreciate him very, very much. He listens every show, and I thank him more than he realized. So thank you, Mr. Rotenberry in Kingsport. He's a lovely bride, Miss Joanne. And so coming up, we'll check in with Carey Daniels from Dobyns Bennett. He's scheduled to be with us next right here on this Monday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
See what might be hiding in your coverage at farmers.com/gaps.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us again on this Monday, again in 10 states, and we appreciate that very much. We've had hits on, also got a hit, not this weekend, but last weekend from the United Kingdom. So, but the 10 states we've had folks feedback to us at is Kansas, Tennessee, of course, California, South Carolina, Virginia, North Carolina, Florida, Michigan, Georgia, and now Louisiana. So we got 10 states, and
you can add Mexico to that.
Mexico, we just got a hit from Mexico?
Over the weekend, yeah.
Over the weekend from Mexico. Viva la Mexico. There you go. Let's go from there to Kingsport, Tennessee. Our buddy Carey Daniels, athletic director from Kingsport, Dobyns, Bennett. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Doing great, Tom. How are you?
Just fine, sir. Now, you told me before you got 23 sports and 36 teams. Is that right?
Somewhere in that neighborhood, yes, sir.
I do not know how you do it. I admire you because they're going in every different direction. So this week, let's start. I think the regular seasons are winding down. Tournament's getting ready to start. So let's start. Give me a report right out of the chute for Ryan Wagner's baseball team.
Baseball team plays Sullivan East tonight. It'll be senior night where we honor our seniors. And then our last game, and it's our last home game as well, is tomorrow night against Irwin. So hopefully this rainy spring we've had, we can get these two in, and it looks like we'll be able to without any problem. Baseball's 25-7 overall. They're 10-2 in the conference, and we're tied with Science Hill for first place. And our district tournament will be starting Saturday, and it's at Cardinal Park. And they'll be playing starting Saturday all the way through next week, trying to get the district champion decided. Awesome. Now, softball, how are things going with the Lady Indian softball team? Lady Indians are starting to play a lot better here towards the end of the season. They're 18-12 overall. They're fourth in the league. We have Central today and Science Hill tomorrow. But I believe we're no worse than fourth because I think Boone is fifth, and we beat Boone both times. So their district tournament will start Friday because they try to avoid Saturday playing because the girls usually have all day long. They're getting ready to go on the prom and all those kind of things. I think Science Hill and one of the other schools has their prom usually that first Saturday in May every year. So they have Central today, Science Hill tomorrow, and I think if they were to actually win both of those, there's a slight possibility because I think Science Hill still plays volunteer, but I'm not 100% certain that we could actually get to third. So a couple big games here this week for softball as we get ready to move into the district tournament with our lady softball, Indian softball team. Talking to Carey Daniels, again, the athletic director, Dobyns, Bennett here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Then we switch gears, roll right into soccer. How's soccer doing right now? Soccer second in the league. Science Hill beat us early in the season, back early in March, and then we won the rest of our conference games. We play Tennessee High tomorrow night, and then we play Jeff County Thursday. And then the soccer district tournament will start next Monday. They satellite the first round. The champion will get a bye. Then the other 6 teams play the satellite, And then Tuesday and Thursday, the semifinals and finals will be held at the Viking Castle in Tennessee High. And our soccer team's 11-3 and second in the league. But our Science Hill game, if I remember right, the score I think was 3-2 or 2-1, something like that. It was pretty close. And so we've got a real good chance if we can get Tennessee High tomorrow night to be competing there against Science Hill for the district championship hopefully next week.
How many ballpark number of student athletes played all the different sports all year long at Dobyns Bennett? How many kids you talking about?
We're probably, I think we just did that for the OCR. We have to send in numbers every year or something, and we just did that last week with Samantha Stidham, and I think we had 418 boys, and I think we had, I want to say 296 girls, but I can't remember the exact number of girls. But we counted all those out, turned them in for the different sports and stuff. So we have right around 600 students participating in athletics. Now, out of that, some of those overlap. You know, you could have some play winter sports and spring sports or fall sports and spring sports, but that's still a good representation of the kids that are participating in sports at Dobyns Bennett.
Talking to Carey Daniels again, a couple of more teams get a report on him. We do a little spring sports update with the different athletic directors, and we appreciate him doing this for DB. And tell me about the tennis teams right now.
Tennis team, we've got Big Science Hill coming up here to our courts today. That'll be a big match, and Tennessee High on Thursday. And the Tennessee High boys are really, really good. They've already locked up the conference championship. So we're tied with Science Hill right now for second. And the girls have pretty much locked up first. And then the district tennis tournament will start next Monday. And I think we're hosting the district tennis, if I am correct.
Yeah. So, and then track and field, Coach Bingham, how are they doing?
Well, Daniel Boone had a big win this past weekend. They won the Big Seven, first time in a long, long time, and knocked us out of that top catbird seat. So we finished second in the boys and second in the girls. And this coming Friday will be the Kingsport Times News Relays, which will be over at Science Hill. For years it was held at North, but for some reason this year they're running the meet at Science Hill on Friday. And then next Saturday, which I believe is May the 9th, is the big sectional meet at Hardin Valley, and that's the meet that determines who goes to the state tournament. So track's a little different. It doesn't do like conference, district, region, all that kind of stuff. We just kind of have a conference meet at the end, and then the big sectional meet for teams from Knoxville up through here, and then that determines who goes to the state in the spring fling. There
you go. And then coming up on Monday, a week from Monday, a little thing called football. Spring practice at DB starts a week from today.
Yes. Coach Clark will be starting spring practice Monday and getting his 2 weeks in. And so I know they're real excited about that and getting ready for our new conference next year, that new big, large 32 league.
Yeah. When do you start selling football tickets? A little deeper into the spring and summer?
We'll start those at the end of July, whatever that last day is. Let me check here right quick, and I'll see if I can give you the date with my calendar.
Probably the 31st.
July 27th. That's Monday. We would start selling season football tickets, and the people that already have tickets will have 3 weeks to purchase their tickets, and then on August the 17th is when we would open that up to anybody in the public to get tickets of season ticket holders that didn't pick them up. So we'll start that on July 27th this summer.
Yeah, I was looking at the home football schedule. It's pretty good one. Oak Ridge, Hardin Valley, Bradley Central, Knoxbeard, and Science Hill. That's a pretty good schedule, isn't it?
It sure is. And then the away schedule is just as tough. You know, having to go now, they've brought Maryville in the league. We were down at the state AD conference last week, and they were talking about the new football schedules and the conference alignments and all that kind of stuff. And some of the ADs were asking the Board of Control and Bernard Childress about what they're going to do with the private-public situation and how they're going to do classification. And one question was, could Maryville just be putting their own classification? Because, they've won the state football, about 10 out of 12 years or something. So
Absolutely.
They're in a class by themselves in that football.
Yep, and so you're right. So DB will go to Tennessee High. They'll go to Sevier County. They'll go to Maryville on a Thursday night, October the 1st game. They'll go to Jefferson County. Is that 5? 1, 2, C. And William Blount. Tennessee High, William Blount, Sevier County, Maryville, and Jeff County will be the road games. It all gets started August 20th. That'll be here before you know it, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And the Maryville game, because people always wonder, they think you have a typo. The Maryville game will be a Thursday. They're going to put it on TV like the Sevier County game was last year.
Yep. It's going to be on the tube on Thursday, May the 1st. Before I let you go, is there a website folks can go to track DB sports all the time?
Well, it's the normal, just off the Kingsport site, the K-12K website, they can, get to Dobyns Bennett High School. But this summer, we're going away from School Fusion, who runs it, and I don't know the name of the new web-based company that we're using, but some point this summer, our website will change over, and I'm for sure the URL will change over then. But you can always just Google Dobyns Bennett High School, and then it'll take you right to the website.
There you go. Stays busy. 23 teams, 36 sports. Did I get that right?
No. 23 sports,
36 teams. I was close. It's Monday. But anyway, he stays busy. I don't see how he does it. Coach, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. I'll talk to you soon, all right?
Okay, roll Tribe.
Roll Tribe. Good man right there. Carey Daniels, again, the athletic director at Dobyns Bennett, and he stays busy. How in the world do you stay up with 23 sports and 36 teams going in every different direction? But, of course, Scienzo has the same problem. I guess all the schools.
Yeah.
Pretty daunting task to stay on top of all these different kids. And what do you say, 700? I wrote that down. 418 boys, 296 girls. That rounds out to over 700 student athletes at DB. And as he said, some play different sport. Or that's not a true number, but because some of them play more than one sport. But gives you an idea of what kind of responsibility is there to get all these kids from point A to point B, and the vans gassed up and eligibilities and a lot to it. Scheduling, selling tickets, marketing. So, they stay busy, and we appreciate Coach Daniels very much. We're going to take a quick break. Coming right back, we've got Rob Cole. We've got Richard Pendleton coming up. We've got Rob Cole. We've got Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse and Chase Elliott. We're going to squeeze them all in here in the next 30 minutes. We'll do that right after you hear this on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
At Farmers, we make you smarter about your insurance, because what you don't know can hurt you. What if you didn't know that home insurance can keep your stuff covered even when it's not at home? Or that collisions with wildlife on the road may not be covered? And what if you didn't know you could be liable for any accidents on your property? The more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Monday, the final Monday of the month. Can you believe that? We've got May looking at us, May 1st coming up on Friday. Hard to believe, May Day. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Let's go to the ponies there. Our buddy Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park. We got to get in. Richard Pendleton is going to join us about the St. Jude's Golf Tournament. Also, Chase Elliott joins us coming up a little bit later on, the NASCAR driver, and also Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse. So we got to keep it trucking here. Hello, Rob Cole. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, Big T. I'm not going to complain with weather like this outside.
No, it's gorgeous. Your Cardinals, by the way, 2 games better than the Cubbies in Pittsburgh. The Reds are 4.5 back, and let's see, Cardinals will be at home against Philadelphia tonight. So your boys are right there where you thought they'd be. They're 12-5. The Reds are 8-10. So I don't think I lost my mind and did that lunch bet this year. I don't think so.
Well, it's we'll take it as long as we're up there right now. We'll take it. Let's just hope we can keep playing some good ball and stay there. Stay course.
There you go. Hey, tell me about weather safety. Again, we had some inclement weather over the weekend. We'll have more, of course, springtime and summertime with storms coming in. And give me some weather safety at Bays Mountain Park, would you please?
Yeah, absolutely. Bays Mountain Park and really anywhere where you're outdoors. You know, like you said, we're in that time of year where storms are going to roll in. Sometimes we see them coming. Sometimes we don't. As we get closer into the warmer season, we're going to see more and more where storms just kind of pop up on us. You know, the things we just always hear, we encourage people to, you know, number one, be aware. Just simply be aware of the weather. You know your surroundings, know the signs. If you see a cloudy day, chances are, you know, it could turn into a stormy day. Always keep in mind when you're outdoors, especially if you're out on the trails, for example, up here, you want to be mindful of how close or how far you are from shelter. You know, don't wait long after you hear that first clap of thunder. You know, lightning, anytime you hear thunder, you can be assured that lightning is also a possibility. So we like to do is encourage people to be proactive. Don't wait. Don't delay. Even if it sounds like it's in the distance, a pretty good place. You know, we like also to remind people, and a lot of people aren't aware of this, lightning can strike in any direction up to 10 miles away. So, you know, that's a pretty daunting figure there. We always like to think we're safe. We hear it in the background that's distant. And we like to tell ourselves we're okay. You know, the reality is we may be able to make it. But we don't want people to assume that is the case. Seek shelter. You know, seek a shelter, preferably a building. But, you know, if not, definitely have plans, backup plans, and know where it's safe. You know your territory. Know if you're in a forest woodland or in an open field. You know, have a plan. Know where to go. Again, we all get outdoors. We enjoy the warm season, and we for good reason. But, you know, always have a plan. Know the weather forecast. Know, you know, these days our smartphones, so many of us have these apps on them that can tell us the weather, can alert us to the weather. Certainly, again, never hurts. Know what you're facing before you go out. Alter your plans if you have to. There's nothing wrong with delaying to another day, or if you can do it, just a few hours. And again, above all, be safe. Just, again, be safe.
Talking to Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park, so that's just very, very wise information, and you're exactly right. Whether you're at Bays Mountain or wherever you are, you got to use your noggin. Also, trails. You got a lot of trails out there. Now, some are for the novice, some are for the veterans, but you've got trails out there. You can walk a leisurely trail. You can get out there and get after pretty good, but bottom line is there's trails for really any type of person that wants to go out there at Bays Mountain Park. Tell me about that. Huh.
I don't think a lot of people realize that. We've got 40 total miles worth of trails inside of our park footprint. About 32, 33 of those miles worth of trails is also approved for mountain biking. So you've got a lot of activity going on the trails between just your hikers, your runners, and mountain bikers. Me and you talked about this before. All those activities I just mentioned are great exercise, a great way to incorporate and give your health and wellness efforts a good solid boost. You know, but our trails are, you know, some of the best trails you'll find between here and the Great Smoky Mountains, I guarantee it. You know, we're in a region where we're blessed with trails. Appalachian Trail, none the least of. Just within a couple of minutes drive to some of your listeners, in fact. And so, you know, Bays Mountain Park is no different. We like to remind folks about the fact that we have 40 miles worth of trails, some of the best you'll find. People can hike into Bays Mountain Park, in fact, from Laurel Run Park now. We don't probably talk about that enough, and there are 2 gorgeous waterfalls on that end of the park. Doesn't matter what your goal is, whether it's health and wellness, whether it's just sightseeing, Maybe you're out bird watching or enjoying photography or painting, drawing, that kind of thing. These trails up here are amazing. Absolutely diverse with wildlife, plant life as well, I should add. This is a great time of year to be out on the trails and be looking for wildflowers. I don't want to miss pointing that out. So, great time to get out here at Bays Mountain Park, and even better time to get out on the trails. And I hope a lot of your listeners are out on our trails. I hope they're not just focused on their activity. Again, I hope they're focused on all the benefits the trails have to offer, including the wildlife and the plant life they can find here.
$4 a carload at Bays Mountain Park, and they are open 7 days a week. Rob Cole, what are the hours they're open?
We're open in our extended spring hours for the first time ever, which means we're open Monday through Saturday from 8:30 a.m. until 8 p.m. And, again, on Sunday from 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. Now, the Nature Center hours do differ on the weekends. On Saturday and Sunday, the Nature Center hours are 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Of course, Nature Center closes at 5 p.m. During the weekdays. And for those who aren't familiar, the Nature Center is simply that area where our planetarium and gift shop is located.
Great report, my friend. As always, my buddy Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park. In the spring is sprung. It's a beautiful time to be up there. And, again, the weather's going to a little cool the front end of this week, but the end of the week is going to be very, very nice. And it's going to be back up in the 70s, upper 70s, I was seeing. So it's going to be a beautiful time to be up on the mountain. $4 a carload. You can't beat it. And, of course, you turn right there and come off of the Meadowview exit in Kingsport, follow the big brown sign to Bays Mountain Park. And from Meadowview to the top of the mountain, you're probably talking 5-10 minutes top. So it's not like you're going out in the middle of nowhere, although you feel like you are. But again, $4 a carload, beautiful place to go any time of the year, especially in the spring. Rob, great report, my friend. Thank you. And hey, we'll talk. I was going to say go Reds, but I'm mad at the Reds over this Brian Price thing. So I'm just going to say have a great week, Rob, and we'll talk to you next Monday. How's that?
Oh, the Reds angst. I tell you, have a great week, Big T. And you know what I'm going to say.
Go Cards.
Well, there you go.
All right, I'll talk to you next week. Great report, my friend. Thank you as always.
All right, BT. Appreciate all you do.
Yep, good man right there, buddy. Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park. And again, as we heard, as he said, I should say, $4 a carload, open 7 days a week. Beautiful, beautiful time of the year to get up there and walk around, take a picnic lunch, and sit there on one of the tables and enjoy nature. And don't be too surprised if you see a deer just kind of meander across the parking lot because they run loose up there more times than not. Of course, they do have a deer exhibit, but there are also deer just kind of coming through and passing through. And it's just beautiful up there. For $4 a carload, you cannot beat it. Quick break. We'll be right back. We got Richard Pendleton going to join us, and also Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse. We got lots going on. We'll squeeze those two gentlemen in coming up next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
See what might be hiding in your coverage at farmers.com/gaps.
Back with this Monday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thank you for being with us. Again, we're down to 10 states, and one of the great sponsors that we love to talk about each week and talk with is our buddy Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City. And good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's going to be a great day. It's a good day to be out shopping. It's a good day to come by the store.
Absolutely. Let's talk about a couple of things. First off, golf. springtime, beautiful weather. It's going to warm up later this week. Tell me about the golf and the golfing books, I should say, in the sporting section.
I've got a great sporting section. About a third of it is all about golf, the different golf clubs, the different techniques that golfers have produced over the years, how to improve your drive, how to improve your putting. It's just, I have probably 50 titles in golf. So if you're an avid golfer, or if you have a friend who's an avid golfer, come by and see what we have, because it'd be great for a gift for somebody, especially if someone in this weather is out there playing golf. This would be a neat thing to have on their coffee table. They see how the big boys have made a lot of money playing golf. It's just a good technique you can learn a lot from, and the price of these books are very reasonable.
We're talking to Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse. How do you find him? Very easy. They're right beside Harbor Freight Tools, again on 11E between Johnson City and Jonesboro. Just find the Sonic Drive-In there on 11E and turn right into that shopping center. They're open 7 days a week. We'll tell you about that coming up in a moment. Bob, gardening. It is the season, getting ever so closer to really getting kicked into the gardening season, and you got a great selection of gardening books from Book Lovers Warehouse. Tell me about it.
Oh, I do. I had a guy come in yesterday that had just bought a piece of property with a big greenhouse on it, and he bought about a half a dozen books on gardening and how to prepare your plants, how to get the most out of your growing. If you go in the grocery store, even in Walmart, the tomatoes are $1.80 a pound. Isn't that crazy? You can grow 100 pounds of tomatoes with very little effort because they grow great. Put yourself out a garden, stake out a 50 by 100 feet, and you'll probably produce a couple $1,000 worth of produce for the summer, and your family will like it because everything's going to be fresh. So come on by and see the gardening books. I've got 2 big bookcases. They're beautiful books, and they're very reasonable.
We're talking to Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse on this Monday afternoon. Tell me about the trade policy of Book Lovers Warehouse.
Well, bring in what you have. Things that we know will sell relatively fast is relatively new textbooks. Also, anything that's about building on a house, electrical work, automobile repair, anything that's really exciting about doing a project for the summer. And bring those in. We'll be glad to give you trade credit for it. The theory is if we don't have it, we have very little of it, we'll give you half of whatever we'll sell it for. So I've had people bring in 5 boxes of books and leave with $50 worth of trade or $50 worth of books. So it's just a good way to save some money. We get a lot of new and interesting books that way, too.
All this going on again at Book Lovers Warehouse in Johnson City. They're open 7 days a week. And one other way, if you can't make it to the store, you can shop online. Bob, tell us how we can shop online at Book Lovers Warehouse.
Well, anytime you're online and you're looking at Amazon or Biblio or A Books and you see Book Lovers Warehouse, I'll be glad to deliver those books to the store. You can save the $4 shipping. We have, I'd say, online we have about 20,000 titles, but in the warehouse we probably have 200,000 books that represent those 20,000 titles. And we have a good selection online, so you can save the shipping, you can get the book right away, and I try to be very competitive online anytime you see Book Lovers Warehouse. Just call the store and we'll get it for you.
It's just that easy. Again, they're open 7 days a week. Again, they're located, as we said, on 11E between Johnson City and Jonesboro, right there at the Sonic Drive-In, turn into that shopping center, and right beside the Sonic, or right beside, I should say, Harbor Freight Tools in that shopping center is Book Lovers Warehouse, open 7 days a week. And, Bob, what are the hours you're open, my friend?
We open up at 10 o'clock in the morning. We stay till 7 o'clock at night. If you're still in the store, we'd be glad to wait around, see what you find. We're not going to throw anybody out at 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock. We've stayed as late as 9 o'clock when I had a whole group of people in there. So come on by, 10 o'clock to 7. Sunday we open at noon, and we stay till 5.
Great report, my friend. Sell. You had a great weekend, and so, hey, we'll check back in with you Friday afternoon, and keep on keeping on. We'll talk to you then, all right?
Okay, thanks.
That's our buddy Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse, and you heard all about what Bob's telling you right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
See what might be hiding in your coverage at farmers.com/gaps.
Back on the Tom Dillard Sports Show. Already today you have heard from Rob Cole from Base Mountain Park. You've heard from Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse, Jim Cline, Farmers Insurance. You've heard from the Gator Man, asked those stupid questions. I went 2 for 5 on the quiz show.
Great questions.
And you've also heard from, our NASCAR drivers, Kurt Busch and Jamie McMurray. You're going to hear from Chase Elliott coming up here in just a few minutes. But first, let's go to the phone. Our buddy Richard Pendleton's with us, again involved with the St. Jude's golf tournament next week. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you, Tom?
Just fine, sir. Now tell us, you get to be part of this motorcycle caravan that takes the check from the Tri-Cities down to St. Jude's every year. Tell me about that, would you please?
Yes, sir. We have this is going to be our 20th annual Wings Across Tennessee. We leave Atlas Honda on Friday morning at 9 o'clock and travel to Dixon, Tennessee, spend the night, pick up more riders there. And on Saturday, we take the money we've raised to St. Jude's Hospital in Memphis. Last year, we took them $35,000.
Wow. And
with the other chapters that were involved, we took them a total of $83,000.
Fantastic. You do this later in the year, is that correct?
Yeah, it's the third weekend in September.
Yeah, it is awesome. We're talking to Richard. So part of the reason and part of the way they raise this money for St. Jude's is a golf tournament in the spring and a putt-putt tournament in the fall. So let's talk about the spring. It's coming up next Wednesday. Tell me about the golf tournament.
Yes, sir. We're going to have a golf tournament at Tri-Cities Golf Course. It is a captain's choice 4-person team. It is $60 per person or $240 per team. We will provide the green fees, or cart fees, lunch, and a beverage. And we were going to have a hole-in-one, a new car to give away for a hole-in-one contest, but I don't think we're going to be able to work that out this year because of some snafus between us and the dealership. So we're not looking into having a car this year for a hole-in-one. We will have a putting contest, longest drive contest, closest to the pin, and, of course, a hole-in-one.
We're talking to Richard Pendleton again from the organization, and it is named, the organization is called what? The Motorcycle Folks. Go Wing?
We're Tri-City Wings.
Tri-Cities Wings. There you go. And so how many folks went down last year when you took the caravan from here? How many folks went?
We had about 150 bikes total.
Wow. That is awesome. And so from here to Memphis, that's a pretty good haul on a motorcycle, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But it's well worth it. Now, once you get there, you get a chance to go through the hospital and look around. Kind of give us a bird's eye view of what you see down with all those kids.
Well, They have tours arranged for us to go in and see the patients, and you see 4 or 5 year old children with no hair. They're on. They've got IVs stuck in them all over the place, and it's just an inspiring sight to see what they do down there with these kids and how sick they are and how well St. Jude's tries to help these kids. And no kid will not be accepted by St. Jude's Hospital. It don't matter how rich or how poor you are, they will accept them. And you hear some amazing stories, and you see some sad stories too, Tom.
We're talking to Richard Pendleton. So when you play this golf game next week and become get into this tournament next Wednesday at Tri-Cities Golf Course, a week from this Wednesday, which will be May the 6th, just know that you're helping to raise money for these kids. I think Tom Jane told me last week there's 87. I think he told me 87 kids or patients from St. Jude's from Sullivan County alone here in Northeast Tennessee, and that's a pretty staggering number. It doesn't count the other counties. That's just in Sullivan County. So
yes, it is.
The need is there, is it not?
Yes. The tee time for the golf tournament is 1 o'clock.
Yep, tee time in the afternoon. You'll have lunch before, you'll play golf and have a big time doing it. And so it all starts next Wednesday. Again, the cost and who do we contact and say, yeah, we want to get involved?
Okay, you contact Tom Jane at 423-323-2239, or you can contact me at 423-245-8484.
There you go. Either one. 16th Annual St. Jude Benefit Golf Tournament coming up next Wednesday at Tri-Cities Golf Course. Wings across Tennessee. And, of course, the putt-putt, I think I asked you the other day, putt-putt's in August, right?
Yes, sir.
And I think
August the 6th.
Oh, there we go. There's the magic day for our boys to get dressed up and ready to come over. August.
We want you to come play in the golf tournament, Tom.
Oh, I can't play golf. There's no way I can play.
Well, I can't either, but, you know.
No, I would embarrass myself in golf, but you better believe we're gearing up for the putt-putt tournament August the 6th. We're going to be there dressed out again as the Honolulu Hoedown boys.
Well, that's great. That was a lot of fun.
Hey, I appreciate your time. Thank you very, very much, and we'll talk to you again real soon, all right?
All right. Take care, Tom.
Yes, sir. Great man right there. Appreciate his friendship, our buddy Richard Pendleton. And, again, you can call him or Tom Jane. Again, it is just well worth it. As you heard him say, some great stories at St. Jude's and some sad stories. But, again, that money, $38,000?
35, 38.
$38,000 he took to St. Jude's, and all the wings groups across Tennessee ended up taking over $85,000 to St. Jude. So the need is there, and as you heard him say, and he's right, they don't turn any kid away. They don't care what your economic situation is, your financial situation. They will make sure that you're taken care of, whether you're a millionaire's kid or a kid that lives in not so in meager surroundings, I guess would be the way to say it. So anyway, can't go wrong with that. We appreciate him very much. And so, again, it's next Wednesday week. You can call Tom Jane at 323-2239 or Richard Pendleton at 245-8484. So circle the calendar, August the 6th, the Honolulu Hoedown time for the putt-putt. You're in, right?
Putt-putt?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Me and you and Wyman and Gator.
Oh, yeah.
Coached by the Apester.
Yeah. She has no clue.
No, she has no clue. She may get them and go, oh, my God. She may get embarrassed.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah, because when we walked in, I'm not kidding you, you couldn't stir them with a stick. We walked in that place. It was like partying the Red Sea. Because we walk in, all four of us had on bib overalls and Hawaiian shirts and straw hats.
We just didn't look like we fit in.
And we didn't fit in. But we had a blast. I think when I lay down on my stomach and shot that in the eighth hole of my belly, like a pool shot, I think that kind of did it for everybody. It's like, okay, These people aren't right. So had some good burgers and that little band over there last time. So it's going to be great. It'll be August the 6th at the Putt-Putt on Stone Drive. But, again, the golf is next week, and please consider being a part of that. 16th Annual St. Jude's Benefit Golf Tournament next week, May the 6th on Wednesday at Tri-Cities Golf Course. And, again, those numbers one more time, Tom Jane at 323-2239 or Richard Pendleton at 245-8484. 84. Made his second start over the weekend again to the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. He started in Martinsville, and now he was, of course, in Richmond over the weekend. So got a chance to ask Chase Elliott, what's the difference between the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series as far as a driver?
Biggest difference is just the level of competition in these cars, and the cars definitely drive different. That you're going faster, I think, is the most simplistic way to put it in these things, and that requires different setup packages, and these guys have done a good job adapting to the changes over the off season they made for the rules and whatnot there. So it's definitely a little bit different, but at the end of the day, the competition level is just so much higher over here. It makes it tough.
There you go. Of course, he went double duty this weekend, too, in Richmond, so he's back out of the car for a while. But, of course, he's back in the Xfinity Series. They all moved to Talladega this weekend. But Chase Elliott, again, got a little comeuppance. At one point, he was running top 10, and then he ended up being, 16th in the race? He qualified 16th, so he started exactly where he finished, or he finished where he started. So, again, nice run for Elliott. This guy, do you think he's the face of NASCAR? You think he's the future?
Short term, no. Long term, maybe.
Yeah.
He's just a young kid and
learning the ropes.
Got that baby face.
Yeah. Well, he's just 18, I think.
I know it. Yeah. So give him when he's about 26. Yeah, I think he'll be much more.
2-3 years under his belt.
Oh, more
or
than
longer.
2-3. But I think he'll be really a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. Also, Kyle Larson, the other up-and-comer, he finished 12th yesterday. Now, Eric Jones did not run in this particular race, so he's the young man that is kind of the phenom right now in NASCAR, at least in the Xfinity Series. So he did not run yesterday. But, again, top 10 from Richmond, Kurt Busch, Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Jamie McMurray, Joey Logano, Casey Kane, Matt Kenseth, Jeff Gordon, Clint Boyer, and Martin Truex Jr. were the top 10 at the track yesterday. And, again, heading off to Talladega this weekend, your top 5 in points, Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano, Martin Truex Jr., Jimmy Johnson, and Brad Keselowski. And rounding out the top 10 comes Casey Kane, Matt Kenseth, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jamie McMurray, and Jeff Gordon, the top 10 in points. So, and no timetable on the return as of yet for one Kyle Busch. Not much being said about that. Quiz show today went 2 for 5. Stupid questions. Reds, first team that had numbers on the back of the jerseys for the Reds. I said true. Of course, it was wrong. It was the Yankees. True or false, Wilt Chamberlain never fouled out of a basketball game. I said true, and it was false, or I said false and true.
No,
I was
said
wrong.
False.
Okay.
It was true.
It was true. He has fouled out. Stupid
no,
question.
He hasn't. He fouled out of an
exhibition
game, but not a regular season
Never
game.
fouled out of a regular season game. And, you enjoy this too much over there when I screw up. You giggle and just have a big time. And in Abbott and Costello, who's on first? Every position had a name in the skid
True
or whatever you
false,
call it, and
it
it's
was
false.
False because right field did not have a name.
Yeah. What was left field?
I don't remember that.
Oh.
I don't remember every position's name, but I remember reading about it and listening to it and watching it, and you just that's
good.
old school, Tom.
Yeah.
And where are you from? You're supposed to be old school.
Yeah,
you blew that one.
I've never ever seen that or heard it.
You've never heard Who's on First?
Never heard it. No. Sure
dude,
haven't.
we've got to get that and play it.
No, never heard it. So you're supposed to say, this is where you always say, you've led a sheltered life. I hear this all the time.
Son.
See.
Abbott and Costello, Who's on First? You've never heard that.
I've never heard the whole, whatever it is,
Have
monologue.
you heard any of it?
Mike, maybe 3 or 4 seconds here or there. Hey, Abbott, who's on first? I have no clue. Is it funny?
That's hilarious.
I've never heard it. So
you're going to hear it.
Okay.
You're going to hear it.
All right. I'd like to hear it. And that way I can be better informed. Let's see. Let's squeeze in one more. We got 2 minutes left here before we get out of here. We got one more story. The National Football Players Association has appealed the 10-game suspension of Cowboys defensive end Greg Hardy, arrested on domestic violence charges. NFL Players Association said, nah. So Goodell, the commissioner, has claimed the suspension is identical to what it would have been under the old policy for conduct detrimental to the league. Hardy, who signed an incentive-enhanced one-year deal with Dallas back in March, could lose as much as $6 million if the suspension stands. And so Roger Goodell applied the discipline retroactive under the new personal conduct policy, which was not enacted until December, 7 months after Hardy was arrested on domestic violence charges. So,
retroactive.
There you go.
I like that guy.
Yeah. So Goodell says, nah, we're going to hold his feet to the fire.
Making a statement.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, the Cowboys ought to be grateful. They're going to save him $6 million.
Yeah. Now, this guy's already got in a shoving match with one of the players we talked about last week down there in the mini camp workout. So volunteer workouts. This guy's This guy's problems.
What goes? I mean, I said it before. What goes through these GMs' minds?
I don't know.
I mean, why?
I don't know. I can't answer that, but you kind of scratch your head on some of the decisions these guys make on some of these players. We have been busy. We have worked in today Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Jamie McMurray, the Gator and those stupid quiz questions.
Great questions.
Jim Cline from Farmers Insurance, Carey Daniels, the athletic director from Dobyns, Bennett, Rob Cole from Bays Mountain Park, Bob from Book Lovers Warehouse, and me oh my.
The right Bob from
Yeah, you got it. And Richard Pendleton from, again, what do you call themselves? The Tri-Cities Wings Group. Yep, the Wings Cross
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Gold Wing Riders Association.
Yeah, for the St. Jude Benefit Golf Tournament. So been busy. And so on that note, we're going to kind of step aside and get ready for round 2 tomorrow. This is our 54th day in the can. We appreciate it very, very much. We've live streamed here tonight. You'll be able to podcast and pick it up on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, a Stitcher phone app, and YouTube. And so that's where we are right now, and we'll be back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Our show is brought to you by Bracken Asphalt Maintenance and Paving, Wells Fargo Financial Network, Bays Mountain Park, Max Medicine Mart, Cherokee Barbershop, Bristol Motor Speedway, American Import and Auto Repair, Jim Cline Farmers Insurance, Kingsport Cabinetry, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, our buddy Bob at Book Lovers Warehouse, and by Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. So with that, let's hit the magic button. We're out of here. As we tell you each and every time, win or lose, be a good sport. And, of course, thanks to Horace back over behind the scene here, pushing the buttons and flipping the knobs and giggling like a school kid when I screw up on the quiz show, which I did today. So there you go. We're out of time. We thank you for yours. Back in the saddle tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Thanks again for listening and watching the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And as always, we'll say very simply, so long, everybody.